There is no such thing as balance. Power is everything. With power, you have the the choice to either say yes to no, to good or bad habits, to good and bad things, to good and bad decisions. Now, what is power? I always say this in my fucking videos, but it's another word for control, right? When you have power in life, you have the inner control. Now, the thing is, right, when I say there's no such thing as balance, is that I want you to examine yourself, right? Most people, I'll say most men, especially since I'm gonna keep it a bug with y'all niggas. I don't even care if I hurt feelings and shit like that. A lot of you people think you're ambitious. Now, why is that? We live in a generation and in social media, because of kind of like the red pill and kind of like masculinity has been pushed down fucking people's throats, especially down men's throats. We have like this thing of wanting to be, better, masculine, and all this other stuff, right? Kind of like the normal advice now is, hey, bro, just go to the gym. Hey, bro, just improve. Hey, bro, just do this. Hey, bro, just do that, right? Because the thing is, most men are suffering. Most men are not at the position they want to be. So they think that the great escape, the fucking light at the end of the tunnel is fucking self-improvement, which for a lot of people, it can be very beneficial, but for some people, it's not going to be that much. Right now, self improvement shouldn't be for exterior motives, right? Even though a lot of it is gonna, like, even if you're like, let's say if you go to the gym, like me, I generally like going to the gym. A bunch of people, maybe you yourself, you generally got like going to the gym because it's a very good like outlet for energy, and it's just like, it's I fuck with it, right? The thing is though, is that we can't bullshit ourselves and be like, yo, we don't go to the gym because even if consciously we don't think it, unconsciously, we're like, we want to get our dick sucked, we want to go fuck, we want to go do this. It is for women, right? Just like how bitches, though, they might generally like going to the gym. Some of them, 95% of them, I'll be more blunt and honest. No, it's like I've kind of noticed like the gym is now the new nightclub, right? Which is great, if you're not, if you don't give a fuck about the Lord. But when you're Christian, it's like, oh, okay, these bitches, and most of these bitches, right, they just want attention. But anyways, back to the point. The thing is that when I told you to examine yourself, you have to understand that you have this thing of romanticizing balance, right, for your benefit. And I'll explain this. You have this sense of, oh, I'll have balance in life. I have balance of over everything in my life, right? So I'll have the this with the thing I was going at, where people who are ambitious, who are generally ambitious, not the people that are just brainwashed into like, but people that are generally ambitious, right? They have this thing of, oh, I'll have power and I'll have self-control and balance, or whatever the fuck, however you want to put it, right, over the good things in my life, over the areas that I do want to have this power over, this sense of control over. But on the other parts, right, now this is not going to be for like Christians or any religious folk, but a lot of people who just want to be disciplined just to get the bag, or just to generally improve, right, but they're not saved yet. They'll have this thing of, oh, I have control, I have power over these good habits, but then I'll let my desires, and they might not say it, but the way they're thinking, it's like, I'll have power over these good things, but in other bad things, I'll just let my desires run loose. And if you really stop and logically thought for a second, there's no sense of balance if you're letting your desires run loose. Now, when I say desires run loose, the most famous example of this is, like, let's say like the rapper who works hard, who's like, he has the talent, has everything, but need to go fuck bitches, right? Or the thing of like, oh, I'm a millionaire, but then I fuck a lot of big booty bitches. And the people are gonna be like, what's so wrong about that? Well, obviously, number one, the Lord, right? And I have to push the Lord to you because he's fucking real. And so, like, if I know hell is real and people are gonna go to hell, how can I not tell you to go and believe the Lord? But back to the other stuff, right? How is this bad? Well, it's because if you ever notice, if you've ever have built momentum in life, and I talk about momentum in a lot of my videos, but if you ever built a good routine in life, or momentum, or if you generally felt Like, oh, there have been moments in your life where you're generally winning, right? And not just by luck, but like you actively doing it, right? If you're just like growing up and you're like, you're just winning because, of some other shit. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like where you're generally like, you know what, I'm gonna actually lock in, or I'm gonna actually do this, or I'm actually achieve this. And it doesn't even have to be for self improvement. It could be like you want to get your jump shot ready, like, just little random stuff like that. You'll notice that it is 100% effort into that thing. It's never this thing of 50-50. You don't do 50-50 with that shit. It's all 100% into it. And so the point I'm trying to get here is that there is no man on this earth. There's no man on this earth that is super hardworking and disciplined when it comes to building the business, the content creation, whatever the fuck they're doing, and still fucking a lot of bitches. These two things, they cannot coincide. I'm telling you right now, they cannot coincide. I'm telling you right now, they cannot coincide. And let's say even if they do, their work suffers. You're choosing one, right? If you want to go have fun with these little fucking demons, your work is gonna drop, right? But people have this thing of, oh, I could balance. I can still be 100% into this and 100% into that. It doesn't work like that, man. It literally doesn't, right? And if this is like some shocking news to you, this has been in in the Bible for like fucking 1,000. I don't even know, but it's been there, right? But I'm not just saying this because I've learned this from the Bible, even though it is in there. I've learned this with myself through viewing others and just generally just maturing and living life. There is no such thing as balance. There is no such thing as balance. You must have power over yourself, or you don't have power at all. These people that are so obsessed with having balance, they'll have balance in the good parts of it. Let's say they wake up and they're fucking motivated for a little one fucking day. They're like a motivation junkie, and they say they do everything that they're supposed to do. As soon as temptation comes, right, they fold, right? And then it's like, oh, but you have to have balance. That's how they'll cope. Oh, you have to have balance. And the thing is, no, you cannot have balance. Now, I'm not saying you can't, your whole life has to be, oh, fucking just grind, just grind your life away and you can never have fun. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you deep down, you know the parts where you know you're fucking up in life. Deep down, you know the parts where you wish you had more power over. You know the temptations that are ruining you. Like, don't try to like twist my message into a thing of, oh, you should just be working hard 24/7. You should, no fun, no going out, no having friends, no, I was gonna say girlfriend, but no, it should be your wife. But no, you can't have fun with your wife. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't, like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the sense of the temptations that are coming towards you, you know you shouldn't be indulging in it, and you still do because you have this thing of, oh, I'm just having balance. When you achieve momentum, you realize that it's sort of like a flow. It's like a water. It's flow throughout the start of your day to the end of your day. It's the flow throughout your whole day, your whole week, your whole month. There's a bit of flow there, right? And the thing is that and a lot of my videos, I talk about momentum and how you can create. I haven't dropped that video yet, but with momentum, you can create systems. So even if, let's say, one day you do fuck up in terms of temptation, in terms of whatever your fucking, the temptation is for you, where like you did fuck up, you could still build a system where the next day you wake up and it's just back to the water, back to the flowing, right? But when you have these days or weeks, months, maybe even years for the really successful people, right? And that flow of having success or of having just everything kind of going your way, not 100%, right? We're not God, but just everything just seeming to fall in place. Those people do exist, right? Those people do exist. They might not be fucking this, satanic fucking Hollywood million actor, like a fucking Brad Pitt or like, some shit like that. But I'm telling you, there have been people who have gone from rags to riches. There have been people who, even if they didn't started from rags, they still had that ambition. And there's been people that you don't know anything about, but have made they've become millionaires or become really successful, right, in their life. Like, these things do happen, right? But again, it always comes back to it's a conscious decision each and every day, and just planning your day in order for you to have the most momentum, right? And little momentum tricks that I can drop here and there with my videos. But when everything is flowing and when everything is going, you notice that spiritually, physically, mentally, and even chemically, right? Everything is just falling into place. Everything is okay within your system. You're like, your nervous system is okay. It's because it's just how you imagined it in your head appearing onto real life. So this thing of you wanting to have balance, I need you to get the first off. The first thing that I want you to realize in order to dissolve this notion is that you need to be extreme. Now, what do I mean by extreme? You can search up a lot of rappers. Like I think the first one could be Juice WRLD, right? Now I'm just saying rappers because most people know who rappers are, and or who they know, like everybody knows who Juice WRLD is. I don't remember the song, but it's like a famous song. I'll probably start bumping my head if I like listen to it again. But there's like a famous line where he says like, "Without the drugs, I wouldn't even be here, but the drugs can like take me out." It's like, some shit like that. You probably know the song. What he's saying in that is that he took the extreme. He already had the talent. He had the gift, right? He had the gift, and what's sad about these people is that God sometimes will give them a gift of like music or whatever the fuck, but then they think that they have to go with the devil in order to express it to the world, right? When really like imagine a gospel Juice WRLD song. And a lot of people are gonna be like, well, he's not cursing, he's not talking about being hard and all that. My nigga, there's like a gospel song, and even though it's not his verse is not 100% Christian and shit like that, YB was on a gospel song. YB was on a Christian song, and that shit hit, my nigga. Like that shit was a banger, right? So it's like these artists, they can, if you have the talent, you can morph it into a good fucking song. But that's whatever the fuck, right? Juice WRLD did have the talent. Juice WRLD had all this whatever the fuck, right? But he knew in the back of his mind, if he wanted to produce at the level that he wanted to achieve, he had to use drugs, right? Now I can drop a video about how drugs is literally like a gateway to the spirit world, and just to be blunt with y'all niggas, Juice WRLD channeled a lot of demons. Like search for what channeling is. I can drop a video on that too. Now that's not to bash him, but I'm not gonna just be like tiptoe over this. No, people need to get saved. People need to know this knowledge. Yeah, Juice WRLD channel demons, right? But aside from that point, he knew that if he took all these drugs and if he did all this, right, he was able to like produce banger songs, banger freestyles, whatever the fuck, right? And so what I need you to understand is that there's no escape from the 9 to 5. There is no escape of having a balanced life with a 9 to 5. A lot of people which is very sad to see, they grab into this idea of having balance. They're the average Joe, right? They're the people that you see every day when you walk out the door. They have that 9 to 5. They have that, right? They have bills, they have responsibilities, they have all this other shit. And they think that they can actually plan having a life outside of work, which it can be done, right? But then it's always going to suffer. When you wake up in the day, you only have this amount of energy, right? Now, if you're like watching porn, doing drugs, if you're really sinning hard, or it's not even about sinning, but if because you can, like, I'm not just trying to say, oh, just because you sin, your fucking energy goes down, even though there are certain habits that will like do that, right? Like sex, right? Obviously you bust a nut and you're like, but what I am saying is that most people aren't healthy. Most people don't have, don't go to the gym. Don't do like the little basic shit that, self-improvement people will always try to prescribe to you, right? And so now their energy is nerfed. It's lower than what it should be, right? Lower testosterone, whatever the fuck, right? And then on top of that, right, they're working a job. They have bills. They have responsibilities. They have all this, right? And listen, I need you to understand that if you're somebody that doesn't have kids, doesn't have a girlfriend, or even if you're somebody that you're young and you haven't left out of your parents' crib, or you're not paying bills at the moment, you have to understand that you are one of the most luckiest motherfuckers ever. Because chances are you weren't born in the hood. Chances are you were, I'm not even saying that you were born in the suburbs or you were born in a mansion or whatever, but you were born maybe in a small apartment, right? But your environment is good enough where it's not like that bad, right? Maybe just a little bit of drugs, but not really that bad, right? Or whatever your scenario is. If what I just listed right now, like you checked off the box and just like, oh, he's talking about me. You are the luckiest motherfucker on this earth, because you have no excuse on why you can't build your life. You have to understand that this, and even let's say you're like a 25-year-old and you're trying to make it, and you're at your parents' crib and you're paying your own bills and all this other stuff. For these type of people, right? They generally believe that, no, my ambition will never die. I'll never change. I'll make it one day. And the thing is that if you're already fucking yourself over with these drops of energy, right? Which I can drop an energy video, but when you're already dropping your level of energy by the things you're doing, that you don't even know you're fucking yourself over, but you're fucking yourself over with this. I'm telling you right now, if you're 25 or even younger than that, if you're already fucked up with energy right now and waking up is like, oh, it's such a hassle and all that, imagine 40. Because even if, let's say, you're a little testosterone, little fuck with tits and shit like that, you're still a young male. So it's still gonna be a boost, right? You're still technically in your prime. So the thing is, if you don't have the energy right now to change your life, what do you think is gonna change at 40? When you have even less energy, when everything in your fucking like in your genes goes, right? And so the thing is that the older you get, you realize, oh, time is moving quicker. Like, I felt like I just blinked and it's already May for me as I'm recording this video. So tying this all back into a knot, the solution is to be extreme. The solution is to, I'm not saying, do drugs or do all this other stuff to maximize your life, because especially this is a Christian channel. What I am saying is that you need to be extreme, and you need to get off. You need to stop having this thing of there's an escape from the 9 to 5, right? Because going back to the point that most people are lucky, there's a guy right there, or not right there, but there's a guy who, he has kids. He has maybe like 5 kids to feed. He has a wife. He has this. He has this. There are generally people out there who do not have the time to self-improve, who generally do not have the time to escape, right? If you look at a lot of these people, let's say like a Hamza, right? And I'm not trying to shit on him, but if you look at like his story of how he made it, yeah, it's inspiring and all that, and really it's all the discipline message, just discipline, bro. Which, again, yeah, it is one of the biggest things you can have in life. Yeah, so I'm not shitting on that, but I'm just saying that even when he wanted to, hit a, when he hit rock bottom, he wanted to hit like a reset on his life. He went back to his mom's crib. There's people out there that don't have a mom's crib to go back to. There's a guy out there who doesn't have the luxury of hitting a reset button. So even though he wants to change, he has to provide. There are people that maybe if they went back to their mom's crib, their mom's like, nigga, fuck you. There's people with shit parents out there, right? Which goes back to my thing. Not everybody should be having kids. But you have to understand that if you're someone right now, right, who doesn't have big life responsibilities, your time to change is now, right? And I'm not trying to make this into a hope pill channel, like, hey, cool, you can do it, bro. I'm just saying this. There is no escape from the 9 to 5. And in order, a solution for this has to be something extreme, right? It has to be something extreme. That's the only way you can get out of this shit life, right? And in order to have power over your life and have more control, you have to be extreme on the one thing you got to do, right? If you look at it, not if you look at various successful people, they don't have this thing of having balance. When they were just starting out, right? They was all 100% invested into their goal, into their ambition, into their dream, into the thing. If you trying to balance your success, it's not gonna happen. It can't happen. If you can balance your success, either you're lucky, so you have privilege, and not maybe it's not just money, but you have resources in order to for you to have that balance in order to build. Which if you do, I'm not shitting on you. Go do it, right? But for most people, we don't have that. So you have to use extreme measures. You have to go 100% into this, right? And this is why some people, if you look at their interviews, right, when they were like, if they have like a rags to riches story, that's why a lot of them like, and they always try to tie this into law of attraction or manifestation, but I always say like, oh, there was no other option. There was no plan B in my head. It's because there actually wasn't no plan B. It actually is that they had to 100% make it, right? And so to get this back on to a perspective, right? The thing that you're lacking is power, and you think you can manage your desires. When you wake up in the morning, it's a spiritual warfare. As soon as you wake up, even when you fucking sleep. Like to tell you the truth, I didn't want to tell you this, but I had been on semen retention for like 3 to 4 months, maybe even longer, maybe. Yeah, I've gone to the point when I'm on semen retention, I don't even count. Like I just work, right? But I've been for at least 3 to 4 months, and just today, well, technically yesterday, but just today, right? I relapsed in my sleep. Like I had a wet dream, right? Now I don't give a fuck because like I'm not gonna, I don't give a fuck, right? But I haven't had a wet dream in a very very long time, and the point I'm trying to prove here is that it's a spiritual warfare for your energy, for your time, for your attention, and for your soul. Like it is 100%. This game, like this life, is not a game, bro. Like you have to, number one, you have to repent and you have to go to Jesus. Because if you're not, you're burning hell. No matter how good of a person you think you are, without Jesus, you're going to hell. So, but for people who are already saved, or who really want to drill, like I really want to drill this into your head, that your energy is like a resource. Like your energy is something that like God told us we have dominion over the animals of this world, and we were above angels, right? Now I'm not saying we're as pure as angels, but he even said for a fucking human is very very high in the status level to God and to Jesus, right? So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that you need power. You need control. You can't balance your desires. You cannot. You just can't, right? And the people that talk about balance, these successful people that talk about balance, like, oh, I wish I had more balance, or I wish I had more of this, is when they already made it. Yeah. Like no shit. When you're on the path to success, you're gonna have to sacrifice family time, maybe going out, maybe doing all, like that's a fucking given, right? And yeah, you are choosing what you lose in life. Because let's say this, right? For every Elon Musk who sacrificed this, that, for every fucking Mr. Famous millionaire who sacrificed this and that, there's another 40 million other people who tried to do the same thing and they didn't make it. So that not only did they not make it, they sacrificed this, that, the third, like, right? Which is why I'm telling you guys that you need to apply my philosophy evolution, right? If you want to see some real results, right? Now, I talked about all this other I talked about everything in this video about how there's no such thing as balance, right? It's either you have total control over your life. And the funny thing with that is that when you have total control over your life, you'll notice that like going back to desires or going back to things that aren't good for you, it's not even that tempting anymore. And like the temptation weakens. And you notice when you Like when you're on this path and you notice that you have flow and momentum in life, you kind of notice that it all starts from usually just one day. So anyways, right? What are the solutions? The solutions is, as I talked in the previous points, doing something extreme. For I don't think I've dropped this video yet because I'm pretty much bulking these videos, and I'm gonna give you niggas like every 5 days, maybe every week. I'm gonna give y'all niggas like a video, right? But I have to post something today though, before I gotta go do something, because I meant to post it like 2 days ago, so I'm behind schedule. But yeah, probably that's why when you're gonna look at my channel, you're gonna see me like I'm maybe have a bigger beard or shorter beard, or maybe, you know, I'm bulking right now, so I might be like more, you know, fatter and bigger, or maybe be like skinnier. I don't know, right? But the solution here is that if we apply my philosophy, which is basically evolution, which is people only change when they hit rock bottom. People only change when it's either through these three pathways, either trauma, chaos, and momentum, right? Now, obviously, for the big, you know, like the biggest change, you always have to go to Jesus, right? My philosophy is not to be placed over Jesus's message, right? But I'm just saying, with trauma, right? In life, you can either go up or down. So with trauma, you can be traumatized into being, you know, being self-conscious, being all these negative traits, or you can be traumatized into blossoming up like a flower. With chaos, the reason I say chaos is that if we realize that the most biggest changes in our life always come through some sort of trauma, right? So whether it's mentally, physically, whatever, spiritually, then I say, instead of waiting for the trauma to hit us, let's go towards the trauma. So chaos for me is, I prescribe it as something where you actively go and chase traumatic events in order for you to change, right? In order for you to change and to fucking adapt quicker into your higher self, right? The only thing, again, right, is just because trauma, it's either 50% good or 50% bad. It's like a, you know, flip of a coin, right? And then momentum, right? Momentum is just doing things that keep you in a better state, that keep you in flow, right? So obviously, right, it could be stuff like not watching porn, not doing this. It's basically things that make you have more control over your life. And with more control and with more power over your life, you have a bit more ease, right? And so when I say we go to extremes now, extreme is the solution. So for me, what I think the best thing you can do to break the cycle is you have to realize, first off, you have to realize in your mind that there is no escape from the 9 to 5. There is no escape. There is no balance. So you have to analyze your life, analyze your goal, and analyze your ambition. And you have to realize, okay, this thing is the thing I crave. I need to be extreme in this. How can I be extreme in this, right? Then obviously you apply your life, you redo your routine, whatever the fuck, right? Which routine is kind of pointless because you should already inherently know what to do each day. But again, like a lot of people, when I say like a lot of people are stuck in the 9 to 5 and there's no escape, for some people it's generally because they have no time management skills. So like they need to like write it down, which I'm not knocking you, because I sometimes I have to do that too, where I'm just like, oh, I just got to switch this and, you know. But so now that you realize you have to go to extreme, you have to use your brain, and you have to figure out, how can I be extreme in this, right? And the one thing I will say to you guys is, when I say that, you know, you can abuse caffeine, you can maybe do Adderall, whatever the fuck. And again, right, I'm not trying to push this thing of, oh, just abusing yourself with, you know, drugs or chemicals, right? Especially not any sinful drugs like fucking marijuana, or you better not fucking do that shit. And do not put that on me. No, you better stay the fuck away from it, right? Matter of fact, if any of you guys are fucking tempted to do that, I'll drop a video about how you can get possessed. I'll drop a video about what demons like when you do that shit, right? You can either come to the Lord through love, through grace, or through fear. And if I have to use fear for you motherfuckers, then I will use it. Do not twist my fucking words, right? And you know what? Maybe some Christians could be like, Adderall is probably not the best thing to advise. Okay, I'll take that, right? Caffeine, I think that's a given, right? But like, do not twist my fucking words with me, you little fuck. Do not do that, right? Like safe drugs, you know. The one thing that I will say to you guys is that do not try to there's like this glamorization of, oh, less sleep, bro. Like just sleep less, work harder. No. You can do that for like 2 days, and sometimes I have found momentum through that. Because sometimes you do need to go through like a period of like a week where you're not sleeping that much, you're not doing all that, just so you can see some results, and so then from there you can adjust, right? So yeah, the no sleep method for creating momentum is powerful, but for the long term, no, right? But hey, if in order for you to change one day, I think I said in one of my videos that I have posted, I don't know, but yeah, if one day, in order for you to create momentum instantly, don't sleep for a whole day and just get a whole bunch of work done. The next day, even if you're late to work, the next day, even if you just wake up, shower, go to work, or whatever the fuck, you've built so much momentum from the past day that you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, oh, I can keep this going, right? Because a lot of you people, it's just that you don't do one day or 1 hour into your goals. If you just start it for one time, you can build off that, right? The one thing I will say is that, number one, keep your sleep to 7 to 9 hours, right? At least 7, my nigga. Don't do 5, don't do 6. Unless you have like, I think some people have that gene where they can get away with less sleep. No. 7 is a given. Even if it's not a real 7, you know how like the fit niggas will always have like that watch where it's like, I only got like 5 actual whatever. No, just try to do 7. Just try to do 7, right? At least get 7 hours of sleep, right? 7 to 9, right? And then from there adjust, right? So if one day, you're fucking grinding and you're working up and your whole fucking sleep schedule is fucked up, right? And all that, like I don't care if I don't care if your sleep schedule gets fucked up off of you grinding and off of you hustling. I don't care how bad it is. Always try to get 7 hours of sleep. If one day goes by where you only get like 2 to 3 or maybe 4 or 5, okay, fine, whatever. But always prioritize sleep. Always do it. Unless you want to do the no sleep method, which, hey, like if you need to create some chaos in order for you to stop being lazy, okay, do the no sleep method. Get only 2 to 3 hours of sleep, 5 hours, maybe even I'll say like 2 to 4 hours of sleep if you want to do the no sleep method, and that's something where you can instantly create momentum. All right, but anyways, this has been the video. This has been Los, and I catch you in the next one.